All right, welcome back to Doctrines 3 as we continue on our study of angels, church, and end times. And in Angelology, the study of angels, I want to take a quick minute to look at who is the angel of the Lord. This is a common angel that we see throughout the Old Testament, not so much in the New Testament, but we'll see that in a second here, that the angel of the Lord is very different from the other angels. Let's look at this. First of all, we see throughout the Old Testament a particular angel who appears and is known as the angel of Yahweh, or the angel of the Lord, sometimes also called just simply the angel of God. This angel is identified as God in many places. Genesis chapter 16, 18, 21, and all of these passages, you could look up each one of them, and I would suggest that you do. A really fascinating study is to look up all of the mentions of the angel of the Lord and look through each one of them. The angel of the Lord not only is identified as God in many passages, he speaks as God. He's even worshipped as God, and we see in the book of Revelation angels refusing worship from man. Daniel as well, that where angels say, no, don't bow to me. I'm not God. Only worship God. Whereas the angel of the Lord receives worship as God himself. He also claims to exercise the very prerogatives and responsibilities of God himself. Still, in other passages, in many other passages, he distinguishes himself from Yahweh. He's different than Yahweh, speaks to Yahweh, and has a relationship with God to where God sends him to do things, and we see him even relating with God. So he is a different person than God himself. Well, as we come into the New Testament, something that was veiled in the Old Testament, a mystery in the Old Testament, but is very clear in the New Testament, it makes perfect sense that this would be a pre-incarnate Christ himself, not only who is God, worshipped as God, speaks as God, exercises the prerogatives of God in forgiveness, in the giving of life and death, in creation, but also distinguishes himself from God, prays to the Father, speaks to the Father, intercedes to the Father, and as John chapter 1 says, he was in the beginning. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, i.e., he was there next to God, facing God, but the Word was God and is God. Careful study of these many passages using the term, this term suggests that this is no ordinary angel, but rather a theophany, or better, a Christophany, which is a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ throughout the Old Testament. This is suggested by the fact that all clear references to the angel of the Lord ceases after the incarnation. We don't see throughout the New Testament the angel of the Lord. However, there is an angel of the Lord that we see in Luke chapter 1 and 2, and again in Acts chapter 5, where there is no article there in Greek and would suggest an ordinary angel who's simply from the Lord, rather than the angel of the Lord that is spoken of there. There is if you go looking for it, what you're going to find, I believe it's in Luke chapter 2, where it does say the angel of the Lord, but that goes back to the angel that I just spoke of, which is previously referred to as an angel of the Lord. Again, that's all we have for this video. I really hope that sparks some interest in you and causes you to want to go out and look that all up for yourself. All right.